What is GDPR? Welcome to the first step in your journey to understanding the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR as it's commonly called. Imagine you've got a treasure chest of your personal items. Now, wouldn't you want to keep it secure and decide who gets to see or use those items? Well, GDPR is all about keeping your personal digital treasures safe. Let's get to know it better. What exactly is GDPR? GDPR stands for General Data Protection Regulation. It's a law that came into effect in the European Union on May 25, 2018. Think of it as a big rule book that tells companies how to treat your personal data. You know, all that information you give when signing up for newsletters, online shopping, or creating social media profiles. That's right. This law makes sure that companies handle this sensitive information carefully and respectfully. Why was it created? Have you ever received spam emails or had your information suddenly shared with other companies without your permission? Quite annoying, isn't it? GDPR was introduced to prevent such mishaps and to make companies more responsible. It also aims to give you, the individual, more control over your own data. The digital world needed a sheriff, and GDPR is it. Who is affected? Here's the interesting part. Although the law started in the EU, it affects companies worldwide. How so? Let's say you live in the United States, but you use a service based in the European Union. This service must follow GDPR rules when dealing with your personal information. Or consider an online store located in Asia that sells products to customers in Europe. This store has to comply with GDPR because it deals with personal data of EU citizens. In simple terms, if a company is collecting or processing data from individuals within the European Union, GDPR kicks in. Let's learn the basic terminology. Before we go further, let's understand some terms, like data subject. That's you, data subject, the individual whose data is being collected. Then we have data controller, the company or organization collecting your data. Think of your favorite online store or streaming service, so it's a company. Data processor is also the company or the entity that processes data on behalf of the data controller. For example, a payment gateway that the online store uses to handle transactions. So we will explore these terms more deeply in the next articles, but for now, it's good to have an initial understanding. What are your rights under GDPR? One of the coolest things about GDPR is the rights it gives you. Here they are in simple language. First one is right to know. You have the right to know what data is being collected about you and processed about you. Right to correct. If the information is wrong, you can ask the company to fix it. Then we have right to delete. You can ask the company to delete your data. This is also known as the right to be forgotten. Then you have right to say no. You can say no to your data being processed. In certain ways, definitely. Then you have also right to transfer data. You can take your data and move it to another service, if applicable. Imagine you are at a restaurant and you see the staff jotting down notes about your meal preferences. According to GDPR, you can ask them what they have noted down, request changes, or even tell them to forget you ever liked spicy food. What are the responsibilities of companies? Companies have to be super careful when it comes to handling your data. They need to have your explicit permission to collect and process your data or it must be based on some other legal basis. Moreover, they are required to keep it safe. Imagine if someone found the keys to your house. What a nightmare if they are not honest person. Similarly, companies need to make sure no one unauthorized gets access to your personal information. What happens if rules aren't followed? Let's say a company doesn't play by the GDPR rulebook. Uh-oh. They can face some hefty fines, and we are talking millions or even billions. These penalties ensure that companies take the law seriously and make safeguarding your data a priority. So you have now taken the first step to understanding the powerful and protective world of GDPR. With this background, you'll find it easier to delve into the more detailed aspects of GDPR, like the rights of data subjects or the responsibilities of data controllers and processors in our upcoming articles, of course. So, why is GDPR important? Let's remember, because it's designed to keep your personal information safe and give you more control over it. Companies have guidelines to follow, and there are penalties for those who don't. In a world where our digital footprints are larger than ever, having a regulation like GDPR ensures that our steps thread safely. So, congratulations on completing your first lesson on GDPR. Stay tuned for our next article, which will explore the reasons and history behind the creation of GDPR. Until then, happy learning!